Hey friends, Peter Fasciano here. Welcome back to my series on the Canon M6 Mark II. In today's video, I'm going to cover the feature called focus bracketing. What I'm going to do is break this video into a couple parts. I want to show you where to find the feature on the camera, and then I'm going to run through the basics of focus bracketing itself. This is not a video on a very specific type of image. I just kind of want to show you how it works. And then I'm going to leave it up to you to make that determination whether it's going to be a gimmick or whether it's an actual good feature to have on the camera. So let's go ahead and jump into the first part of the video. Okay, so once your camera is turned on, you're gonna go ahead and hit your menu button. You're gonna be on the camera icon, scroll over to menu item 5, focus bracketing. You want to enable that. The next selection is gonna be the number of shots. Based upon your aperture and the object that you're taking a picture of is gonna determine the number of shots that you're gonna take. Focus increments, you have anywhere from narrow to wide and anything in between. This is a gauge from 1 to 10. If you select narrow, that just means your focusing point is going to jump up very small as you take pictures. If you select wide, you're gonna have larger jumps within your focusing point. And you're gonna see that here in a second. Exposure smoothing comes disabled. Make sure you enable that. Now the next thing I need to do is go ahead and set up the tape measure and show you how this particular function works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a series of images. I'm going to first start out with an f/22. I think I'm at ISO 125. And this is going to be our comparison shot. So the whole idea of focus stacking is that you don't have enough depth of field to capture the entire object in focus. So this is going to be our comparison. I'm going to go ahead and take the picture. And here is that picture processed. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is change the camera settings to the focus bracketing. I'm going to go ahead and enable it. I'm going to take a series of 50 pictures at the lowest focus increment. I'm going to keep my focus point at the same spot. And what you should end up seeing, a series of pictures being taken and the focusing point moving in small increments up the tape measure. So let's go ahead and take that picture now. Before I do that, I'm going to change my settings to f2, and I'm going to increase my shutter speed, get the ISO at 125. And if you notice, when I turn on focus bracketing, the camera automatically turns itself to the electronic shutter. We've got a 2-second timer, and up in the top left corner, you'll see the number of shots that I'm taking. So let's go ahead and take this one. Okay, so now that that's done, I'll go ahead and throw up a series of pictures so you can see the focusing points moving up the ruler. The last one I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and change the focusing increments from narrow up to large or up to wide. So I've done this already, and I also need to make sure that I change the number of shots, because 50 shots on such a wide field of view are only going to get about 4 shots taken. So let me go ahead and increase my shots to 4. My focusing point is at the same spot. And what you should notice on this one, the focusing points are going to jump dramatically, and I'm only going to get about 4 shots in here before the entire length of the measuring tape is captured. So let's go ahead and do that. So here is the series of 4 shots taken, and as you can see, this one, the focusing increments are much larger than they were on the narrowed field of view. So now the only thing I have left to do is throw these on the computer and go ahead and process it with Canon software that will focus stack the images. And I'm going to compare the f/22 photo with the depth of field with the focus stacked images and see if there's anything different. And then you can make up your own mind whether or not this is a gimmick or if it's actually functional. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is open up the digital photo production from Canon. It's their software that you can download for free from their website. Once that's opened up, I've already saved all 50 of my pictures in the M6 Mark II folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on M6 Mark II and close that. So I've got all 50 images here. I'm just going to go ahead and select all of them. Once they're all selected, I'm going to go up to the tools bar. I'm going to select depth compositing, and I'm going to start depth compositing. This gives you a couple of options to do something with the bokeh or bokeh in the background. I'm not gonna mess with any of the sliders. I'm just gonna keep them as default. I'm gonna click on execute. And since I have 50 photos, it's gonna take quite a bit of time for this to process. So I'll just go ahead and check back in with you guys once this is all done. Click on execute. I'm gonna say yes, because once this gets saved, it's gonna save back into the M6 folder. And as you can see up at the top right here, this is gonna take quite a bit of time to process all 50 photos. So I'll check back in a little bit. Okay, so it looks like it's almost done. So once this gets done rendering, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the two pictures, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the F22 along with the photo stacked image and see which one looks better. Now again, the purpose of this video is not to tell you how to focus stack a specific image. I'm just kind of giving you an overview of how it's done. Now there's going to be many applications that you can use for this, and the subject matter that I used, that measuring tape, I felt that this would have been a good subject to show you the steps that the individual focusing points traveled. Now if you're in macro photography, or if you're taking picture of food, or if you're a landscape photographer, I can see the benefit of using this type of program, but I'm just showing you the feature itself, and it's going to be up to you to apply it to however you decide to do it. So it looks like it's done. I'm going to go ahead and close this, open up the M6 Mark II, and it looks like this is my final image. So this is the original picture shot at f/22, and the focusing point again was right here, and the depth of field kind of starts falling away, and it looks like it's a little bit blurry. And here is the focus stacked picture. And again, the focusing point was right here. I shot it at f/22. No, I shot the other one at f/22. I shot this one at f2. And this one looks pretty good. The entire measuring tape is in focus, including the measuring tape itself. So there you have it. I know that my settings were different from f/22 to f2, but as you can tell, just going back and forth between the two, the focus stacked image is definitely clear the entire way. Not bad. And again, it's not for me to say whether this is a gimmick or if it's functional. It's going to be up to you. But from what I can tell with these two images, I'd say that if you are a person that is going to need this function, looks like it's going to do pretty well. All right, so after looking at the footage a little bit closer, it really doesn't look like there's that much of a difference between a focus stacked image shot at f/22 and an image, sorry, I keep on getting that mixed up. It doesn't look like there's that much of a difference between an object that is focus stacked at f2 compared to that one shot at f/22. Now I understand that there's going to be a difference in the lighting situation. So if you have to shoot in a low light situation where you have to open up the aperture, this might be functional, but again, I don't really know. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do you guys think? Leave some comments down below. Let me know what type of situations you would use this in, if you would use it at all. And just messing around with this today, I realized that you obviously have to have a tripod, and you have to have a very specific subject matter in mind in order to do this. And you also have to kind of mess around with the settings on whether or not you're going to shoot wide or narrow, and how many shots it's actually going to take to cover the entire length of your focusing distance that you're trying to accomplish. So let me know in the comments below if this is something that you would use, and if you do use it or have used it, let me know how it went. That's going to do it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this. If you got some value out of it, go ahead and share it with somebody. If you're new here, go ahead and consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up and turn on that bell notification, because there's going to be plenty more videos to come. We'll see you in the next one.